Today we are going to look at rewriting formulas and equations. We can also call this solving for another variable. In the first equation, d equals rt, or distance equals rate times time. If we are going to solve for the rate, we need to isolate the variable r on one side of the equal sign. R is being multiplied by the variable t, so in order to get rid of the multiplied by t, we will divide by t. If we divide the right side by t, we divide the left side by t. And then we have t divided by t cancels out, and that leaves us rate equals distance divided by time. And now we've isolated r. We have solved for the variable r. In the second equation, area equals 1/2 times the quantity of the base 1 plus base 2. If we want to solve for the base 1, anytime there is multiplication involved, you need to eliminate it first. This quantity is being multiplied by 1/2, so we need to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1. So we are going to take this entire equation and we're going to multiply it by 2. When we distribute that, we will get 2a equals, we'll multiply the 2 times the 1/2, that is 1, so we don't have to even write that down. And then we are left with base 1 plus base 2. Again, we are still trying to solve for base 1, and we have a positive base 2 on the right side with the base 1, so we will subtract base 2 to eliminate it. If we do that to the right side, we must do it to the left. So that gives us 2a minus base 2 equals base 1. And so now we have solved for base 1. We have isolated the base 1 on one side of the equal sign. For Algebra 2, the main reason we will be solving for a variable is to take an equation from standard form into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. In this case, in this first equation, 6x plus 5y equals 31, we need to solve for y. We need to put this equation in y equals. In order to do that, we need to identify the term that contains the variable we are solving for. In this case, it is 5y. We need to isolate that term on the left side of the equal sign. To do that, we need to eliminate the 6x, which means we will subtract the 6x from both sides of the equation. When we do that, the 6x is eliminated from the left side, and we are left with 5y equals negative 6x plus 31. Okay, now we need to do one more step. Y is being multiplied by 5, and so to the inverse operation of multiplying by 5 is dividing by 5. So when we do that, 5 divided by 5 is 1, and that's what we're looking for, 1y. Okay, we divided the left side by 5, so every single term must also be divided by 5. So we have y equals negative 6/5 x plus 31/5. And now we have solved for y, or put this equation in slope-intercept form. The last thing that we are going to look at is solving for a variable when it's in more than one term, like it is in 2y plus xy equals 6. If we are going to solve for this y in this equation, y is in more than one term, so you have to factor it out. To factor it out is the reverse operation of to distribute it. So we will pull out a y out of each one of these terms. If we pull out a y out of 2y, it leaves 2. If we pull out a y out of the xy, it leaves x, and that equals 6. Okay, if we were right here to redistribute this y through the parentheses, we would have the y times 2 gets you back to the 2y, and the y times the x gets us back to the xy. Okay, now we have y in one term by itself. Y is being multiplied by the quantity of 2 plus x, so now we are going to divide by the quantity of 2 plus x. That will cancel out. We must also do that to the right side. 2 plus x, 6 plus 2 over 2 plus x. So now we are left with y equals 6 over 2 plus x. So when the variable is in more than one term, you have to pull it out, you have to factor it out, and then whatever is left, you must divide by it.